The night was quiet, the kind of stillness only a sprawling corporate headquarters could hold after hours. Most of the employees had long gone home, their offices locked and lights shut down. But not everyone. Ethan Grant, the CEO of Grant Global Enterprises, walked through the dimly lit hallways in jeans and a worn hoodie. No one recognized him like this. The board members thought he was overseas. His senior managers assumed he was working remotely. But Ethan had decided to do something few CEOs would ever dare: go undercover in his own company. He wanted to see, without filters or polished reports, how his people worked, how they were treated, and what really kept the engine of his billion-dollar corporation running. He had been wandering the different departments unnoticed for 3 days, blending in as a late-night temp, eating in the cafeteria, sharing conversations with clerks and cleaning staff. Tonight, though, something unusual drew his attention. As he rounded the corner toward the lobby, he noticed a faint glow coming from the guard station. Not the usual desk lamp. It flickered in uneven shadows against the marble wall. He slowed his steps and saw the source. A security guard sitting on a metal chair, hunched over a thick textbook. A small flashlight clutched between his shoulder and cheek to illuminate the pages. The guard's uniform looked slightly faded, sleeves rolled up, and his brow furrowed in deep concentration. His lips moved silently as if rehearsing every line he read. Ethan stopped, unseen in the shadows, watching. The guard didn't look lazy. He didn't look distracted. He looked desperate and determined. Finally, Ethan stepped forward. "Long night." The guard jumped, fumbling the flashlight, but caught it before it hit the floor. He looked up, embarrassed. "Oh, sorry, sir. Didn't hear you come in. Just passing time." Ethan glanced at the open book. "Engineering thermodynamics," he said, recognizing the diagrams. The guard blinked. "Yeah. I'm studying for my degree. Night shift's the only time I can get some reading in." He hesitated, eyes narrowing. "Wait, you don't look like staff here. Who are you?" Ethan smiled faintly. "Just helping out around the building. I like walking at night." He paused. "What's your name?" "Marcus," the guard said cautiously, shifting in his chair. "Marcus Hill." Ethan nodded. "That's not light reading, Marcus. Why engineering?" The man gave a short laugh, though his eyes betrayed exhaustion. "Because I want my daughter to grow up proud. Because I don't want to wear this uniform forever. I work 12 hours a night, 6 nights a week. Then I take classes online during the day. I sleep when I can. It's not easy, but it's the only shot I have." Ethan felt something stir in his chest. Most executives in his company earned more in a week than this man probably saw in a month. Yet here was Marcus, sitting under fluorescent lights, using a flashlight like a lifeline, chasing knowledge no one expected him to pursue. "Does anyone know you're doing this?" Ethan asked softly. Marcus shrugged. "Not really. People see a security guard, they don't imagine he's got a plan beyond rent and groceries. I don't tell coworkers. Don't want pity. Don't want people thinking I'm crazy for believing I can be more." For a moment, the silence stretched. Ethan wanted to say something, to reveal himself, but instead, he simply said, "Keep at it. You never know who's watching." Marcus smiled faintly, clearly not understanding the weight of the words, and returned to his book. Ethan walked away, but he couldn't shake the image. The beam of that flashlight, illuminating more than just equations. It illuminated grit. Over the next week, Ethan deliberately passed Marcus's post during odd hours. Sometimes Marcus was practicing math problems. Sometimes he was sketching diagrams. Sometimes his head drooped forward in exhaustion, yet he jolted awake, pushing himself to keep going. Each night, Ethan asked casual questions. Slowly, Marcus opened up. He talked about his little girl, Ava, 6 years old, who thought her dad was a superhero because he could fix anything in the house. He spoke about how he couldn't afford textbooks until he started buying used ones online, sometimes editions 20 years old. He explained how he often missed birthdays and holidays, working double shifts to keep the lights on. One night, Ethan asked, "Do you ever think about quitting?" Marcus stared at the book, his jaw tight. "Every single day. But then I think about Ava asking me why stars shine, or how airplanes stay in the sky. I can't tell her, because Daddy gave up. I can't teach her to settle. So I push on." Something inside Ethan broke. He had built skyscrapers and signed billion-dollar contracts, but he had never felt so humbled as in front of this man with a flashlight. The undercover assignment ended 2 weeks later. Ethan returned to his executive office, greeted by assistants with lattes, reports, and endless meetings. Yet his thoughts kept circling back to the lobby, to Marcus. He didn't reveal anything at first. Instead, he instructed HR to pull the file on Marcus Hill. Sure enough, he had been working security for nearly 7 years, never late, never reprimanded. His wages were barely above minimum, and his request for tuition assistance had once been denied. That denial burned Ethan's chest. The following Monday, Ethan called an emergency meeting of his executive team. "We're overlooking talent," he said bluntly. "From this day forward, I want a program that recognizes and supports employees at every level: security, maintenance, cafeteria staff, everyone. Scholarships, mentorships, pathways for growth. No more invisible workers." The room buzzed with murmurs, but no one dared challenge him. A week later, Marcus received an official letter. Inside was a scholarship from Grant Global Enterprises, covering full tuition for his engineering program, plus a promotion to work part-time in the facilities engineering department, day shift, with mentorship under senior engineers. Marcus stared at the letter for nearly an hour, thinking it was a mistake. When Ethan himself called him into his office, Marcus froze. Standing in front of the CEO, in his crisp suit, Marcus realized the truth. "You," Marcus whispered. "You were the one. The man in the hoodie. It was you watching me all those nights." Ethan smiled gently. "And you inspired me, Marcus. You reminded me what this company should stand for: opportunity. You showed me what determination looks like." He leaned forward. "So don't waste this chance. Become the engineer your daughter already believes you are." Marcus's eyes burned. For the first time in years, he let himself cry, not from exhaustion but from hope. Years later, Marcus walked across a graduation stage in a cap and gown, his daughter cheering from the front row. Ethan was there too, clapping like family. Marcus didn't just earn a degree. He earned a new life, built not only by his own hands but by someone who had seen him in the shadows and chosen to shine a light. And in the quiet halls of the corporate headquarters, the story of the security guard with a flashlight became legend.